You know what this is? Episode 2.
Muy buenas tardes, amigos y amigas. Bienvenidos al episodio número 2 de este podcast que estamos haciendo. Do you understand what I say?
Vaguely. Are you guys... Vaguely.
I just say welcome, brothers and sisters. Gente, people, to our second podcast.
Second podcast.
Hopefully we have a lot of fun today.
Absolutely.
First podcast is going to be up or on YouTube. Yeah, we're going to be doing
absolutely.
YouTube.
You guys will be the first to know. After us, of course.
Of course.
But you guys just missed some awesome stuff that we were talking about. We're both kind of thinking about our future and aligning today with where we want to be tomorrow, and taking into consideration a lot of things in terms of like what is success. And I think that that's super individualized. Like success is really unique to every one of us.
Yeah, that's true.
So like what, successful could be financial. Success could be maybe just having that happiness and that pleasure every day. Or success could be like satisfaction, feeling good from helping people. Regardless of what it is, we were kind of trying to figure out what we want for tomorrow and where we want to go. And we didn't really talk about any business ideas, but we just talked about kind of this idea of business.
Yeah, but it's more like, we're talking more like the structure. How do we build this? How do we make this path in order to get success? How do you organize your life? How do you organize yourself to become successful?
Well, like that's kind of where we started. We thought, okay, the most important thing about starting a business is starting with yourself, because we need to be sound in our own individuality before we can start some soundness in something else. And then we were thinking, not every day you're going to wake up and feel like $1 million.
Exactly.
But you have to do it regardless, because why waste that time? Why waste that day if you love what you do? I mean...
So, what are the principles? You were telling me that you have a routine, or you see that there's a routine that you follow to get you feel success, or you get success every day.
Absolutely. I watched a couple videos, and I was listening to a couple, I don't know what they're called, maybe inspirational speakers or motivational speakers, but they were saying that a lot of successful people start their day an hour or 2 hours before they have any obligations. And it's just a fact that your brain is the most active and the most creative the first 2 hours after being awake. So I was telling Jose, I was saying, like, I get up, I make my bed, like, first thing, because it doesn't matter if it's a shitty day and you accomplish nothing. You go home to a made bed. So
I was going to ask you something before about this. So when you wake up, and you said the first 2 hours, they're the most creative for you. Like, so if you wake up really sleepy, does these 2 hours start like counting as soon as you wake up, or is after you're not sleepy anymore?
That depends. I just seen a thing like, did you hit the snooze button? Because if you hit the snooze button, after your body already kind of, that's why, like, okay, crazy. Let me tell you guys quick, like, this will kind of help facilitate this question. I woke up at like 1:30 in the morning, and I asked my girlfriend, how do I say easy in Spanish? And that's all I could think of. And it must have been because I was trying to dream in Spanish, and I couldn't get the word out, and I'm like freaking out in my dream so much that I woke up. And because I woke up, I couldn't go to bed. I was awake. I was ready to start my day. So what did I do? Because I felt that energy and I got into that schedule, is I started my day. And Melissa, this morning, I said, like, why don't you try what I do every morning, getting up and doing that? But I told her, if you hit the snooze button, your mind will reset and think, this is another sleep cycle. I need to go to sleep. So then all day you'll feel drowsy, you'll be yawning, you'll feel tired. And it's because you tricked your body into thinking you were starting another sleep cycle. So if I wake up, I just get up. And like, although I went to bed at like 11 a.m. this morning, it doesn't really bother me because I went to bed for a couple hours and then I got up again. And Like my sleeping schedule is probably super fucked compared to most people because I'll sleep for an hour and then I'll get up and then I'll live my life for 4 hours and I'll sleep for another hour and I'll just kind of like, or maybe I'll sleep for 4 hours and then I'll get up for an hour. But regardless, I always have a point where I know, okay, I kind of got to that point where I need to reset and I need to restart my schedule. So I always accomplish things that I want to do personally before I start my day with anything else.
Do you think when you were talking about the snooze button, I feel like it's probably when you can relate that when you restart your computer. It takes time.
Absolutely.
It always takes time to
adjust.
Go on, adjust. So if you are doing that to your mind, imagine you're like snooze button, then you go up, then just like
you're just slowing it down, right?
And it's not only like you're gonna feel. I think that it's not only that you're gonna feel like tired the whole day, but you're hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's kind of like 1990s dial-up. Like you're just waiting after you hit that snooze button. You're waiting all day, extra time to process something. It's like when you're waiting for the internet and you have dial-up and you click the internet like 3 times and you get 6 tabs that open up and you're just like and you're waiting forever for anything to process. For me, that's the best relationship that I can make to hitting the snooze button. And I've totally stopped. Even if I just get up for like, sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I just get up and I just do even just a couple things because I don't know, it's like I'm just awake. But then I just do those, and if I start to feel tired again, boom, I'll go to bed. But then I know that if I woke up after, that there would only be a certain amount of things that I need to do or that I need to consider because I've already like went through my schedule, and then I can, boom, get up, already know what I want to do that day without even thinking about it.
That's like, interesting.
Somebody had mentioned that it's like being proactive instead of being reactive.
That's really important. It's really important. When you are proactive, you are able to have more things.
Well, take it into your control.
And your control.
Right?
Yeah, you are managing multiple things in your life than just expecting, like waiting for something to happen in your life to react over that.
And you know what? Like, I think everybody can relate. I can totally relate to that because I feel like there was a point in my life where I was just waiting for success. I was just waiting for things to happen. I was just waiting for people to come to me with like all these answers, and it's never going to happen.
You need to find them. You need to go and find them.
Because you're in it for yourself. Like, regardless of what people say, like, oh, I want to help people. Well, before you can help anybody, you need to help yourself.
Help yourself.
Help yourself. So,
help
like,
yourself.
This schedule for me, I don't know about everybody else. I can't speak for you, but like for me, I know that I really benefit from giving myself that morning schedule, and then the rest of my day seems super easy to handle no matter what comes my way. I already worked out. I already got those endorphins out. I already took time to be mindful. And
so what do you do? You were telling me about this schedule that you plan. You gave me an example of a schedule that you did last year, or not last year.
I've been doing like my.
Okay, sorry, I'm going to show them. He has this little notebook, where he does the schedule of what he's going to do on his day. So he was telling me something about the last notepad that you have.
Yeah, the last notepad that I have is like, let's say I wake up at 5 o'clock. I wake up at 5 o'clock. I put 5 o'clock, and then I put 5:02, bed made, and then I'll put 5:05, brush teeth and made a tea, and then I'll put like 5:10, I meditated for 5 minutes, or I took 5 minutes of mindfulness and thought to myself, who do I want to be today? What do I want to be today? Like, and that could be anything. It doesn't have to be super crazy. Like, oh, I want to be the best entrepreneur out there. It's like, no, I want to be the best partner that I can be for my partner. Or I want to be the best son that I can be to my mother. Or I want to be the best brother that I can be to my sister. Like, it's just taking time to consider things around me, people that affect me, things that help me, and then realizing, like, I feel like everything that you give, you always get back. So after I do that, I keep going through my schedule, and I keep doing like my Tai Chi, my meditation, my yoga, my Spanish, and just kind of like keep processing and keep working these things. And by the time I'm done those things, I haven't even started my day, and I already feel so accomplished.
Yeah, you were saying something about why do you do your bed? Why is that the first thing that you do when you wake up is make your bed? Why?
Well, so many people say I don't know. There was a U.S. admiral, I believe. I mean, Navy admiral. You guys don't take my word for this, but you'll have to look it up. But he gave a speech and he said, like, regardless of what you accomplished that day, and no matter how shitty it could be, if you woke up and you made your bed and you go to bed that night after the shittiest day you could have had, you end on an accomplishment. You made your bed. So, like, you're already winning. And then it kind of relates back to, like, starting my schedule in the morning by doing that stuff that I wanted, those little things that I wanted to do all day, instead of waiting to find a minute to do them, which I'll never find because life is busy, life is fast. Taking that time to do it first thing in the morning, because life happens, regardless of all those little things that I want to do. So I do those things before most people are up, and before most people's days start.
You have time for yourself to do your own stuff, and then you're set for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
Then you don't have to. You don't have regrets like, oh, I really wanted to do this, and then if you wake up and you're like, oh, I want to do this, but then I have to work. I have to go and work first. So while you're working, you're gonna be like, oh, I want to just finish work to do what I want to do.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to be as efficient as you should be because you've been thinking about this all the time.
It's actually like a distraction, right? It's distracting you from.
And I can relate. It happens to me. Sometimes I just like, I think you don't know, guys, but I am a really gamer lover.
Gamer, yeah.
I love to play video games.
PC though.
PC
fuckers.
Yeah. I don't play that much anyways, but I really like to spend some time playing some games that I like, right? It happened to me before. One time, like, oh, I was so hyped for this new game, and I tried for like half an hour, and it's like, awesome. The next day, I wanted to spend more time with the game, but I had to go and work first. So during the whole day, I was thinking about, I just want to go home and play my game. So I was taking shortcuts for at work, not working properly, you know.
Yeah, but
I just wanted to finish to go, and that's not the best way, right?
Absolutely, and that kind of relates to, like, my partner Melissa loves watching this like Argentinian soap opera, and I started realizing Casi Ángeles, and I started realizing how much time she actually spends doing, like, watching that. And that's totally fine. Everybody gets their pleasure out of certain things, right?
It was crazy. She had watched that thing.
Oh, countless times. She'll watch she'll watch all the seasons in 1 year, which just, to me, is ludicrous.
Rewatch it.
They're like 45 minutes an episode, and there's hundreds of episodes, and there's like 3 or 4 seasons. I don't know. I haven't paid attention. But anyways, I kind of told her, like, look at all the time. Let's say you spend 45 minutes a day. What's something that you want that you've never found time for, but actually you're just putting off because you're taking in those other things? And I said, like, it's totally fine that you love doing that, and I totally respect that you should do that and you should watch Casi Ángeles, but I also think that you should manage your time a little more effectively. Like, so yeah, I'll watch half an episode of Cassie, and then the other half the time I'm going to spend investing into myself. Because
for your future.
Yeah, regardless of how much you love Cassie, I don't know how much of a living you can make off of that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, regardless of what you do, you have to eat, you have to live, you have to survive. We need money to survive in this day and age.
Yeah.
To some extent. Some people are hermits and live in the forest, but I don't know how much fun it would be not seeing other people. But yeah, that kind of comes...
Oh, there's people that just like to be like that.
Yeah.
You can't help that.
That's exactly it. I mean, every society, I think, should have that too, though. People that don't have to follow the rules. People that don't have to play by them. And I think Western society has kind of left that... Sorry, side tangent. But I think Western society has kind of left that untouched. Whereas there are parts of the world where you can become a monk and you don't have to play by the rules of society. You can go and you can be a monk in a monastery and you can spend your time devout to whatever you believe in. And same thing with certain religious groups. They give you those options of facilitating that. But They kind of don't give us
Do you
that
think
here.
that happens more often now than before?
I think
Back in the day, or
you know what? Back in the day, absolutely, because I think people wanted a purpose. And today, I also think that there is this big movement in Western society to find mindfulness and to find a portion of yourself. So kind of relating mindfulness to maybe some of these monks. These monks have mindfulness because they take time to deal with themselves, and they do everything for themselves, right? They wash their own laundry. They do, so they don't have an automated washing machine like we do, which is quite a luxury, but it's really nice to have that extra 2 hours where I don't have to fucking hang clothes to dry them and I don't have to fucking wash them. I can spend that time listening to an audiobook and painting, or I can spend, you know what I mean, doing something that I want to do.
I remember that. I remember that you have to wash your own clothes and everything. Especially, I don't know, well, back in Colombia, where I'm from, it's like that, you know. You see, here in Canada, for example, winter time is impossible for you to wash your clothes, hand wash, and just hang them.
I mean, if you're hanging your clothes, you're literally fucking freezing them outside, so you can bring them in so they can wet everywhere.
I remember in Colombia, the whole year, you hang your clothes and it's raining. You have to run like fucking crazy. Yeah, my clothes are gonna get wet. And you have to run, because if you let them get wet,
what's the point?
And how long it's going to take again
to dry them?
It's not like here you turn the dryer 1 hour, that's it. It's done.
Well, even Europe too. Lots of people hang their clothes. Like my grandpa is from old Europe, and he doesn't use the dryer. I don't know. Like we have a dryer at the house, and he likes to. He has a camper that he travels around in, but he likes to stay at my dad's house, which is his son, for every so often, maybe a couple weeks at a time, come visit, right? It's nice. But this old, like, you go in his bedroom and he's just hanging clothes. He could very easily use the dryer. It's just kind of a mindset that you get into. Like, that's kind of, it was weird for me.
That's crazy.
And then I thought everywhere else in the world, like, what, we have dryers. And then, you know, go to Europe, lots of people do that. Lots of people do that regardless of where you are. Latin America, Central America, like, even people in America.
But, there is not too many people or families, I guess, in South America, or especially in Colombia, that they have dryers. It's uncommon to find dryers in at houses in Colombia.
Oh, I mean, frankly, it's a luxury. To have a dryer.
But what is funny is that a lot of families in Colombia, they have maids, and here is such a luxury.
Yeah, to have a maid.
Back in Colombia, it's just like most of the families, they do have a maid.
It's kind of like
they do have someone to go and clean, and but this is the thing. People in Colombia think that what I'm saying Colombia, sorry, is because I'm from there, and I'm just trying to get memories and facts from where I'm from. I don't want to say that it's all South America is like that, right?
Absolutely.
But for example, over there, they don't think working as a maid is like a real job. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm not going to pay you the minimum salary. But if you make people to pay whoever is working for you as a maid, pay the minimum salary, that's going to change.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, so anyways, kind of tying back to like yourself and making sure that you're ready for tomorrow, it is really convenient to have all those modern luxuries. And kind of let's talk about another modern luxury that can be a bit of a distraction in today's society. Your cell phone and your emails and your social media. I try not to touch those.
What is the first thing that you do when you wake up? And you can lie to me, because I know the fucking first thing that you do is you go and check your fucking phone.
We've all done it.
Facebook, Instagram.
We're all guilty. We're all guilty.
Twitter.
Emails. I'm so bad for my fucking emails. I'm a junkie. I want emails. I'm like, what do I got? What's coming? I don't know why. I'm just like, get rid of the spam. Okay, this is important. I love dealing with emails.
You like it? Yeah.
I like it. I don't know why. I'm just like, yes, concise information. Get it to you. It's gone. I just love it.
You know, I got that. I got that too. I'm not like crazy like that, but every time, as soon as I go home and I start my computer, I check my emails. At the end of the day, I check my emails because I work all day long, right? So the time that I have to check stuff is at night. So I check my emails. I spam. Oh, this is important. This is not, like, okay. And after that, I'm ready to do some other stuff. But yeah, technology luxury.
can be a bit of a distraction when trying to figure out what you want for tomorrow, because somebody had mentioned it. I'm not like, I just put in so much information I can't always recall where or who I got it from, but they were saying you are reacting instead of being proactive, because you're just reacting to what was there instead of taking it into your own hands and doing what you need to do before you start taking on the world. Thank you.
Let's give some liquid to my partner here.
But yeah, so then we're kind of like, I think that schedule sets you up for anything. It sets you up for the best day that you're about to have. It sets you up for the shittiest day that you're about to have. It sets you up.
Gets you prepared for it.
Yeah.
Gets you ready for it.
Absolutely. Like we mentioned, no matter what you do, you've already accomplished so many things.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned this before, that humans, it's kind of in our psychology that you will get depressed and you will get anxiety and you will get stressed and there will be all this tension if you don't see success and you don't feel like you're accomplishing things and you don't set goals and you don't start going somewhere. Like, there has to be a hierarchical system so you can see yourself going somewhere. Otherwise, you just kind of feel like, you're in a hamster wheel and you're not going anywhere. You're just running, but you're not putting on any miles.
Yeah. And before we keep talking about this, I just want to clarify. I just want to let you know, guys, that we don't really have any experience about this, and we're talking about these topics because we're
curious.
We're living in, like, right now. We're trying to experience all this stuff. We are curious of all this knowledge.
Yeah.
This way of life.
Absolutely.
Right. You will probably find people that have a lot of experience as well, and they can
hopefully can help us
and help you.
Creative criticism.
Exactly. So it's just like this. We're trying to share our experience. Share what do we think?
Absolutely.
About these topics, about how this.
Honestly, no matter what we say, it is our opinion. It is exclusive to us.
Wait 1 second. What
the fuck is going on? So right now, we don't.
This is so crazy.
We don't use our phones when we're doing the podcast, but we have to show you this. Take a look. His phone is going off the hook. What the fuck is going on?
And it's what the fuck? You see?
Is it recording us or is
it?
Oh!
And it just disappeared.
That's crazy.
It just disappeared. What the fuck just happened?
Wow. I don't even have to turn this camera on for people to watch us. That's what I feel like right now. They're just listening without us even putting it out there on the internet. Whoa!
What the fuck? I'm so...
Is that Illuminati exposed?
We didn't plan this at all.
No, that was crazy. That was super crazy.
What in the fucking...
I don't think that's ever happened either. Like, at least when I've been around, that's never happened. But, super strange.
How... Did you say something?
I don't know. Well, is there like a keyword that maybe you say that your phone...
No, I mean, it just beeps by, I think. This is the thing for what kind of cell phone is this? Samsung?
Samsung?
Yeah. But I don't have that activated, I think.
That's super weird.
And it never happens. Like, the only thing that I use is like Google thing, and I say, okay, Google, and see?
Yeah.
If I say, okay, Google. Oh, that's so crazy. But it wasn't Google. It was this other thing.
We were just chatting. Yeah. That's so crazy. Wow.
Wow, man.
I just seen that too, and I thought your phone's blowing up and that this guy's getting text off the fucking hook.
You know what? Just don't never in any podcast talk about CIA.
Yes,
Don't
just
mention
avoid it.
Yeah.
They're already listening. They already knew what we said
So
before we
I know
said
you
it.
guys are listening somewhere over there. We're not talking about you.
Not
We don't
talking
care.
shit. We're not throwing shade.
We're not throwing anything about you. Anything. We're just talking about way of life here.
Whoa.
Please.
Yeah, but kind of like, I don't know, maybe conspiracy theory. They're trying to keep us down. No, but we're just trying to, we're kind of just
share
trying to-
experience. I guess there's a lot of people out there. If you're watching this and it's like you are trying to find a way of life, trying to change the way that you're living, you want to experience something different, and you're afraid. Probably you're like, should I do this or not? How can I do this? And so we're just like, especially Joel, that he started this, I think, before me.
Oh, yeah.
He had more experience, and it's really nice to hear and like learn about his experience.
Well, like, and I have so little experience. Is the funny thing is just that little bit of experience does make a big difference, right? And it's kind of like you know, everything's a lesson. And you kind of start picking up on these, like every single day when I reflect on what I could have did yesterday that could have made it better.
Yeah.
I think, wow, how minuscule that was. I didn't even consider it to be very important. But now that I reflect back, that really was a lesson for me to help me today. So I totally agree. And kind of what Jose said again earlier, like a few moments ago, is who isn't afraid? Who isn't scared that, like, you know, nothing's a given except for death. That's the only thing you're guaranteed is to die. So why not enjoy the time that you're here? That's not saying fucking YOLO.
Yeah.
Which, like, just go ham, right?
No.
Pull a Charlie Sheen, although Charlie Sheen had to do Charlie Sheen, right? That's
yeah,
it.
of course.
I mean, everybody's got to fill. If there's a void, the universe will fill it, regardless of if it's with a person, if it's with a planet, if it's with stars. It will be filled. If there's a void, it will be filled. And I guess that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to fill a bit of a void with ourselves. Like, we were kind of watching podcasts and we were kind of seeing videos and we were interested. And like, Jose's done a couple things for radio here in town, and we talked about it. And he said he started a bit of a online radio station a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But it's difficult because you have to restrict your hours to the hours of your audience too. And then we were kind of thinking, well, why don't we just tell people about our experiences and what we're going through and kind of share and hopefully get feedback and hopefully give our audience strength too, that they can go and do this. Because honestly, we're Joe Blow from northern BC, like, and we're just trying to make a difference in our lives and everybody else's, I guess.
And it will be nice to read. I know you can put some comments down there and just give us some feedback, you know?
Yeah, I mean, share your thoughts.
What do you think about what we're saying? What are we saying right now?
Because that's literally what we're doing. We're sharing our thoughts, and we're starting an open dialogue with you guys, with the audience.
You can probably are in the same road. You're in the same road, yeah. And you can like, hey, you can share with us that, yeah, I've been thinking about this. You can probably do that, you know.
Like, you can relate your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like Jose was mentioning, I decided that I didn't want to work for other people anymore. And I kind of seen that, like, I didn't want to be anything like my parents, and my parents work for other people. Like, you know, my dad's a foreman, and a lot of people think, like, that's a really highly touted job to be a foreman or have a position of authority in some sort of structured system like that. I just don't see it being a lot of fun being told what to do by other people. And I can tell you for a fact, since I was a kid, I've always had issues with authority figures telling me what to do. And I think a lot of people can, like, you tell me to do it, I'm going to do either the opposite or I'm going to do it just to upset you, like, just to prove you wrong. Not even upset you, just to prove you wrong that I can do it.
Even if I want to do it, I won't do it. You know, and I will do it later, or I will do it when I want to do it. So
I kind of
just like that.
So I kind of came to this mindset that, like, okay, well, nobody's going to do it for me. Nobody's going to make me happy. I need to make myself happy, and I need to give myself what I want. So I kind of just decided then and there that I was going to become an artist. Probably not the most financially viable situation. Absolutely, I totally respect that. And you know what? Props to all the artists out there who are successful and who do experience every day what I like to call the grind, because it's a lot of fun.
Why?
The grind, because like it's a bit of a grind. I thought it was good. You know, I kind of romanticized it. I thought it was going to be like me painting and sculpting and making art every single day, all the time. But I realized that I need to be my own administrator. I need to be my own accountant. I need to be my own publicizer. I need to be my own everything, my own manager. I need to promote myself. And then I realized, like, I guess I can't be such a geriatric asshole and be so cynical and jaded, because I need to sell myself to my audience as well. And if people see this fucking asshole who just thinks he's awesome and making art all the time, and like, but yeah, like, you know what I mean? You kind of get into that mindset. I did start to realize I love making art. That is, more than anything, that brings me the most joy and the most happiness every single day. And it's because I have a curiosity that I like to take things in, and then I just regurgitate them in a different manner, of course, but more or less that's kind of in layman's terms.
So if you talk like that, what's your big goal in your life? Do you have one?
Absolutely.
Right now? Because
absolutely.
When we're talking about success, being successful in life, you need to set up a goal.
Absolutely.
Right, a big goal. Don't think about little goal, just a big goal at the beginning.
Little
just
goals,
to start.
Yeah, little goals matter though, right? But
yeah,
you need to set a big
matter.
goal.
Yeah,
big goal so you can find little steps to get there.
So the idea is like you set a big goal and then you do little like steps by steps. Baby steps. Those are little goals that you're going to accomplish in order to get
to where you want to be.
Goal. But
intermediate goals along the way, so you don't feel so drained. I just read a Chinese proverb that said, out of 100-mile march, 90% of that march is the halfway mark, and I totally agree with that. Because you start to hit these points where you reach like, fuck, I'm almost there. Wow, that feels good. And I did this a year ago. I shit you not, I didn't believe it when they told me, but I had met another artist and she had told me, write down what you want this week, this month, this year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and the next 20 years. What you want from like all these different facets of life, for your family, for your profession, for your education, for humanity, for your culture, for your community, for everything. And I just looked at it, because it's been 2 years, and I thought, I haven't looked at this in 2 years, yet I've accomplished everything on my list. And it was because I wrote it down, and subconsciously, I guess, I kind of really started to set up these intermediary goals where I can, wow, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer, and there's all these baby steps in between these big goals. But I think that's super important.
Yeah. I was thinking also like you shouldn't just like set a small goal. You know, that's what I meant when I said don't set a small goal, like baby goal, for your like last goal. You know what I mean?
For the grand scheme.
Yeah, the grand one.
I mean, if that's what makes you happy, go ahead. But
you need something big.
Maybe a small thing that takes a long time to get up to. You know what I mean? Like, that could be another way of looking at it. So you just mentioned, like, what is my long-term goal? What is your long-term goal? Like, where do you want to be, and what do you want to leave? Or what do you want to make or manifest? Or
I always have different ones. And I don't know, this happened, we talked about this a little bit the last podcast, the last video, and it's like, I always have different ones.
It'll change over time.
Yeah, it changes over time for me. For some people, it doesn't. For some people, just as soon as you're a kid, you know what you want to be. You already know.
Yeah.
For some other people like me, it's really difficult because you probably have different passions that you really like and you really love, but then you don't decide. Like,
I can totally relate because I'm so curious about everything. If something piques my interest, I'm like, whoa. I'm jumping in the deep end, and I'm not a strong swimmer. in realistic terms, I'm not a strong swimmer. Metaphorically, I might be a strong swimmer. I don't know. I like to jump in though, and I just get super invested.
Yeah.
And then I kind of take what I learned there and bring it back to all these other little things like that I've brought that help create me as I am. But like in terms of, let me try to put it. I guess this is a really abstract term, but I know that come the end of my life, I would like to leave a legacy. And I know that for me, something that would make me really happy is I love art, and I love culture, and I love architecture, and I love sports, and I love people, and I love culture and food. I love so many things. But when it comes down to the end of it, if I had to do something before I died, I would love to make a massive earthwork, to just have the opportunity to, there's a thing called the spiral jetty, and an artist, I can't remember his name, fucking terrible for this right now, and it's in a lake, but he made this huge, you can look it up, you can see it from space, it's amazing, and I just love it. I love that you can see the pyramids from space. I love that you can see these big megaliths, you know, Stonehenge and Machu Picchu. I would really love to move either lots of earth or lots of stone and just work with the environment, though. Yeah. I would like the environment and me to help facilitate a space, not me take and overcome and take on the environment, but to work with it. For me, I would be really, really happy. And I know that I would prefer if that came as a culmination of years of me working on my practice and finding out new things and growing and growing and growing until there's a point in time where I know what I want to do exactly and where I want to go with it. Like, I've done earthworks before, but I know that there's something quite grand in my mind that I've been scheming and building up to and planning. Like, this will hopefully be my legacy, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if they don't know who it is, I would just love for people, like, I love to go to historical sites or things like that and just say, wow, this has been here for thousands of years. This has been here for hundreds of years. Like, it's quite impressive because the Earth is quite harsh in all reality. Like, it can choose to destroy and recreate itself many different times in countless different ways. And to just make something that would stand the test of time and almost, like I said, become a part of the Earth instead of fight with it, I think for me that would give me a lot of, make me feel really happy.
Yeah, well, because we're always like, we live in Earth, like, you know, we're part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think that we're not, but we are. We came from Earth. We go back to Earth when we die.
Absolutely.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. That's exactly it.
Right?
So I feel like there is this kind of connectivity, and if I was to do it, I would want to be working with it. But yeah, let's kind of step back again. Let's reframe, and we've kind of talked about like setting our goals and like analyzing where we want to be and what we want to do. So maybe for you guys, for the audience, if you guys wanted to kind of do what I did in your own life, but take a piece of paper, write down what you want to do this week, or you know what, fucking even start today. Write down what you want to do today, even if the day's over. Because you can still do it. It doesn't matter.
Or what do you want to do tomorrow?
Yeah, write down what you want to do today. Write down what you want to accomplish this week. Write down what you want to accomplish this month, this year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And just really start putting thought and energy towards these ideas and help them manifest. I feel like if you put good energy towards your things, they're not always guaranteed to come to fruition, but I feel like you're only helping yourself.
Yeah.
It hurts.
I know for some others, like, it will be really difficult. Like, that is for me to find like a specific goal that you want to do. For some more people, like, for example, for Joe, I know he knows already he's an artist. He wants to keep like being a big artist and do something
like creating
that's going to be remarkable in the history of Earth and the humanity, right? For me, I have many passions. I have many things that I like to do, but I'm not really sure yet what's going to be the best for me. So I'm trying to figure out, to find what is going to be.
And there's so many facets to that, right? Because, like, what do you think when we say, think about your goals? Well, some people think professional. Some people think personal. Some people think family. Some people think so many things, right? It's so unique to each and every one of us. That's why I broke it down into, like, personally and professional and educational. Like, what is something, because I like to keep learning. I like to keep growing. I like to keep changing and adjusting. I love being uncomfortable, as weird as that sounds. I like being out of my comfort zone because I always feel like, oh, I'm growing. I'm growing. And if I'm scared, I know that this is kind of exhilarating. Like, I'm really out of my element.
And I found, like, just like a couple of years ago, that if I don't know if it was if I had a conversation with you about this, but it's like, if I want to follow my dreams, follow my goals, I have to start doing, like, little steps, little baby steps.
So this conversation happened, and, like, you know what? We all have those big points in our life that we recognize as a big point, a turning point in our life. And I'm pretty sure Jose had this conversation with me a couple weeks after he got married, and it was kind of like, holy fuck, I need to care about more than just myself, because now I'm also invested in taking care of my partner just as much as she's invested in taking care of me. So, like, that responsibility of knowing that if she got sick and ill and couldn't do anything, that would all be on you. Not all, but yeah. Given some circumstances, if you guys have nobody else, it really does come down to you, right? Like, you can't always rely on the state or the government to help facilitate that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this came about because of a really important point in his life.
And it's something that I already started doing, little things, little, like, baby steps. And I just right now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, oh yes, I started doing this. I didn't realize that I was doing it because I want to pursue my goals. But for example,
you're thinking forward. It's always good to reflect. Be kind. Rewind.
Look, like last year, I had an opportunity that I took. That is, we had a little basketball league for like grade 8s, for example. Yeah, grade 8s and 7. And the owner of the restaurant where I work, he's the coach for one of these teams. And one of my dreams, one of my goals is, like, I want to be a coach. I really want to coach soccer, football. That's how we say in Spanish. But that's something that I really want to do. I didn't have experience in like how to manage or how to train.
Pedagogy, which is teaching.
Pedagogia. How do you say that?
Pedagogy. Which is teaching, right?
Exactly.
You're learning how to teach people.
I was like, well, I really want to do this. How do I start? I will start looking for some books and how to do that. And then I had the opportunity. And I was like, I asked him, hey, is it possible if I can help you with this team? Some people say, like, why do you want to be an assistant coach of a grade 7 and 8 basketball team? That's worthless. But no, for me, it's not. This is a little baby step that I'm taking for my big goal.
But you know
I'm learning a lot.
Like what Jose just mentioned, I don't think a lot of people consider that. I have this weird thing. I don't know if people are fundamentally nice. I mean, you listen to the Bible. I think God says in Genesis that he won't bring a great deluge upon the world ever again because he knows that man's heart is inherently bad or sour or something. And I know I'm not particularly religious either, but that kind of just helps, I guess, me consolidate the idea that people will tell you negative things when they see that you're having success or that you feel good about things that you're doing because they want to knock you down to their level. And I've noticed, actually kind of weird, I thought that joining the arts community, that lots of people would be really willing to collaborate and help facilitate and help push boundaries and create new ideas and new venues and new things. But at least from the experience that I've had in the North, to some extent, not 100% by any means, but to some extent, people will try to knock you down a peg, and it's always like a big cock measuring contest, which I'm like, I could care less. We're all in the change room together. Like, it doesn't matter. We're all in this together. The more you get paid, the more I get paid. The more people like your art, the more people like the arts in general. You know what I mean? But people will always, and I think that this just kind of is an inherent human thing, that it's always a competition to be on top, and you're always trying to bring them down to your level, and like push them. It's kind of sick. But I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? Did you guys experience anything like that? You know, share your stories with us, please. We would be super pumped if we get some awesome stories. I think we'd be more than happy if you guys were comfortable with it to let the audience know in the 3rd episode or so kind of what you guys experience, and just share more.
We can work and make podcasts about different kind of topics that you want to talk about.
Yeah, if you guys have anything in mind, let us know. Like,
you want to hear it?
Because we want to collaborate.
From us, yeah.
We want to facilitate.
Unexperienced people like you, that you don't know where to start or how to start.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be talking about these kind of things. We can develop this together.
Like, bottom line, we're growing. Every single day we're developing. And that was a ping. That's exactly it. Kind of like that gong. Boom. Brings you back to reality. And you're like, I'm centered. I'm present. Don't think about all that kind of negativity. Like, it seemed you got a little emotional, not like to the point of like that I would get, but you got to the point where you were voicing a little bit of emotion there, because it did upset you. It does bother you that people are like, why would you do that? And they're just like, oh, I don't need to prove it to you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. That's my choice. That's something I want to do for me. Yeah. Regardless of if you're there to support me or not, I'm going to do it.
And I had, just that you say this, I had this, someone saying this to me last weekend. Because,
no way.
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
Look, this guy, he's a referee, right?
Ah, yes.
So he was like, I'm going to pay you at the end of the season, like $5,000, and you will learn how to be a referee. And I was like, at the beginning, this is my problem. I always say yes.
Yeah.
I always fucking say yes to whoever needs help, and he needed help, and I say yes. And then I was thinking, 2 hours after I say yes, and like, wait, I already started doing this with my coach. I am assistant coach.
Yeah.
I need to finish this project.
That's exactly it. Where does that align with where I am and where I want to be?
So I told this to this guy, to the reference, like, sorry, man, I'm sorry if I say yes to you right away, but I can't do it.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest. So the first thing that he says to me when I saw him last Sunday, after I said no to him, he's like, why do you want to be in that hole, an assistant coach, when you're not getting paid anything? And I was like, well, yeah, but I'm learning.
Yeah, and
that's more important.
I'm getting paid with gratitude from the kids who appreciate me being there, because it's not always like I can totally. I think we've both been on a sports team, and for me, the best teams that I've ever played on is when you have an assistant coach, because sometimes you can't relate to the coach. You can't always. There's not always that reciprocal. This absolutely that there should be a bond and a unity, but sometimes you need to go to the assistant coach and say, like, look, I just think I'm getting pushed a little too hard. I just got back from an injury, or what, so be it, anything. You know what I mean? I just went through a traumatic experience. Can you guys give me a little bit of time? But sometimes you just need to have that other person that you can book. It's like when you have an argument with your mom. Who do you go talk to? Your dad, or your brother, or your sister, or your cousin, or your friend, or somebody, because you need a minute away from your mom. Or
you see the coach, you see as authority, a big thing.
Yeah.
And you sometimes you feel afraid of talking to this
a little intimidated.
To him. Intimidated. But then you have the assistant coach.
Especially as kids.
The assistant coach you can put it in like, oh yes, he's a coach as well, and I respect him, but he's more like in touch with us. He's more like correlated with
absolutely
when we practice and do everything. So
well, I think that's a balancing act.
Feel more familiar.
I think that's like you have the head coach to some extent, to some regard. It depends on the role they want to play, but kind of good cop, bad cop. There needs to be somebody who's always busting your fucking balls, somebody who's always pushing you, always driving you, and then there's always got to be somebody who says it's okay.
A little bit more flexible.
Yeah, a little bit more flexible. That's exactly it. A little more fun, a little more lighthearted. So then you have this nice balance of energy, of atmosphere, of rhythm, because everything's up and down, right? It's always up and down. It's never fucking like awesome all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you can have a shitty day at practice, and it happens to everybody. So I totally agree.
That I have learned a lot.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and I think the best thing after you go for practice or game is seeing that your players or the kids that you're teaching, they learn at least a little thing. Yeah. And they do it, and they feel happy about it.
Absolutely.
And that makes you feel so
that
good.
Relates to what I was going to say again, is that the gentleman that you were talking to said, like, why do you want to be here if you're not making money? I think a lot of people get, like, a lot of people say that money is the root of all evil. Regardless of that statement, you need money to live.
Yeah.
But still, there is a point where you say, no, I'm financially stable. I have everything I want. It would be lovely to have more money, absolutely, so I could, do other ventures. But I'm getting more out of this because of the satisfaction and the gratitude that I get from these children, and I get from the coach because he could use the hand, and I get more personally than I would if I got that lump sum of cash.
And sometimes you have to take this stake, and
I don't think money should always be the driver, right?
Exactly.
A lot of people, oh, you're not going to make money as an artist, and I'm like,
that's the thing. Yeah, you go there and like, I'm gonna be an artist. This is my passion. Yeah, is that what I want to be? And how are you going to live?
And then but the thing is they're a little upset, they're a little angry because they're seeing you pursue your dreams and manifest a reality, and they're just scared because they won't do it themselves.
Exactly.
And I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, why are you going to be an artist? And I say to them, well, the funny thing is that people see the passion and the energy that I bring to my work and how much I love it, and then they tend to start to lean towards the work and like it just as much. So it benefits me by letting them know that I'm driving towards my passions, and then they feel passionate towards what they want to go after their goals. And even if they do that and they don't buy a piece of art, or they don't come visit my studio, or they don't look at the work, I almost feel still good knowing that you gave somebody a little bit of hope that you don't have to go work a 9-to-5 and be Joe Blow in the office. You can you can be yourself.
That's right.
Like, my dad is super, super, super happy that I chose to pursue my dreams. And it hasn't been easy by any means. By any means whatsoever. But I am happier in the struggle every single day trying to pursue my goals than pursuing somebody else's goals. Like, I don't know. I get more satisfaction out of that.
My sister is going crazy right now.
Oh, Melissa's going hog wild. I don't know why. Why?
I don't know. Well, anyways, I think this is getting the end of
we'll tie it up. And I think a great way to tie this whole thing up is only you know what's best for you. Only Jose knows what's best for him. Only I know what's best for me. And we can always talk to each other and help each other see different perspectives and different ways of thinking. But regardless, at the end of the day, if you're not happy, I think you only have yourself to blame. I mean, a ton of terrible shit can happen. But that's not to say that you can't get through it or you can't push on.
Yeah, and then you get all into yourself, and if you think and you feel that you can do better the next day,
absolutely,
that will be worth.
You're your own worst enemy, and you should be your own worst critic. If I didn't push myself every single day, I don't think I would have the success that I do as an artist if I didn't tell myself I can compete with them.
Exactly. So, anyways, guys, just let us know how do you feel if you practice this routine, waking up 2 hours early before you do anything,
start your day,
and you do your own thing before that, and you make a list of
self-help
of your schedule of every day, and let us know how that works for you, if it works for you or not.
Yeah.
If it's something that you like to do, or you like to do or not,
Yeah.
just let us know.
Well, you know what? If this video has helped you, it would be super awesome if you would let us know. Just let us know that you liked it, that it helped you, that maybe you seen something in the bullshit that we were talking about for 2 hours. Because, like, for us, this is just us bullshitting. And then we decided one day, like we said, Jose liked radio, and I'm always curious. I love talking. So we said,
radio show, why not?
So then we said,
we should start talking.
Why don't we
have a radio conversation?
Why don't we just record ourselves talking and share, and see if people can relate, see if people want to hear it. So here's to you.
Thank you guys for listening to us and watching us this episode. We're sorry if we're not fucking sorry. I'm sorry, and just don't stop watching us. Don't fucking watch this thing. It's terrible.
Invest in you.
Just stop wasting your time with this shit. Please do it yourself. Like I don't know. See you next for next podcast.
If you haven't stopped watching us by then. So cheers.
And please kisses where the lights on can get to you.